All right, hello everyone. Welcome to this playoff match as we're already in the draft here between Caffeinated Knights and ABBA Murky Cult. It's going to be a big match here. Taking a look at the bracket, this is our B West final. The winner will move on to face Die for Vision. How many people had Die for Vision reaching the finals on their bracket? Probably not many. But we are getting into this match. We've already seen the first couple bans. Caffeinated Knights banning out Diablo. That is the 21st Diablo ban against ABBA Murky Cult this season. Hanzo going to be banned out the other way for good reason. Caffeinated Knights currently sitting at a just absolutely crazy 9-0 on Hanzo this season. Garrosh going to get banned out as well. That suggests me Caffeinated Knights going with the early Joe pick, trying to go with the tank choke. They did not do that. As we saw the Sylv ban as well. Sylvanas 8-0 with the hero. They've only played 2 games on Cassia that I have stats for, but currently 2-0 on the hero in those games. Joanna immediately picked up by ABBA Murky Cult, then Rhaegar. We are moving through this draft lightning speed, and always fun to see that. A bit surprised though by, I would say by not picking up the Joe, they went with the tank choke. Now that said, ETC is up. I expect Caffeinated Knights to look at the ETC here. There it is. I'm expecting tank chokes to be on the menu tonight based on how these two teams draft. We'll get into that as we go through. Stukov going to be the first pick here. Bit of a surprise for me. So the top healer that Caffeinated Knights prefers is Anduin, but they've shown a pretty broad pool. We've seen Anduin at 8-2, Stukov, Deckard, and Anna all at 4-0. Rhaegar in there as well. So a bit surprising to see that picked up, although I will say that Deckard Super Strain at 16, a very, very good counter against the Joanna. There you see the Greymane banned out. Now, Greymane, a very preferred hero by both these teams. Caffeinated Knights 8-2 on the hero. ABBA Murky Cult 8-3. So a lot of games played on that. As we get, this is a best of 5 series. I'll get many opportunities to talk about the drafting strategy here. There is definitely a preference of 4 assassins on the side of Caffeinated Knights. AMC, though, has a pretty broad hero pool this season. They're breaking out the Tassadar now, which we haven't actually seen a lot. AMC's only recently started playing the Tassadar. 2-0 on the hero based on the stats that I have. What were the maps banned? I put that up a bit earlier, but I can show it again. ABBA Murky Cult did choose to ban out D-Shire and Towers of Doom. Caffeinated Knights sticking with their usual ban of Braxis and Towers. As we see the Zul picked up and the Jaina, so a ton of blow-up potential off the ETC power slide for Caffeinated Knights. On the other side, though, they have the Rhaegar with the cleanse and the potential ancestral. Although when you see a Raynor Tassadar, you gotta think this is a Bloodlust for the Raynor and the Blarkon, as I call it, the Bloodlust Archon. Do they pick an auto attacker solo lane? Dahaka has a bit of auto attackiness to him. Certainly the speed boost can help him land a pretty big tongue. Sky Temple was the map, and I haven't actually really had a chance to talk about that just because of how fast we went through this draft and how much there really is to say about these two teams. So I'm going to try to take this gap to set up this matchup for you. I just need to make sure that I have everything going on my end. But with that, we have, let me just take a look here, not Jobber playing. We actually have Imaginian. So there's kind of a 6-player rotation on the side of ABBA Murky Cult. So it wouldn't surprise me if we maybe see some subs tonight. They have had 6 players play at least 20 games, whereas on the other side, Caffeinated Knights, they've really had the same 5-man roster until recently, when Arc has stepped in and started to fill in some sub roles. Arc in tonight, as opposed to Saiyan CP9. Saiyan CP9 had played most of the games, but we are getting into this game just so quick, and I am trying to keep up, everyone. Bear with me as best as you are able to, and thank you all for your wonderful, wonderful patience as we get set up here for Sky Temple. It's going to be map 1, as I think I only have No, I have... Hang on. Apologies. We will get into the game in just a second here. I sincerely apologize. I am having a hard time keeping up with everything. I just did not expect the draft to go, frankly, that quickly. But nonetheless, we are now into the game. We can go ahead and introduce our two teams on the left, Caffeinated Knights. The Vanche is going to be on Cassia, Harbor, I'm just going to go with Harbor on Stukov. Osmanthus, wow, their names are hard to pronounce, ETC. Jaeger is going to be on Jaina, and up in the top, it is Ark on that Zul. Here in the mid 5-man, Abba Murky called Akash, going to be on the Dahaka. Hellfire is going to be on Task. Creeper's bot is going to be on Raynor. And Majini is going to be on the Rhaegar. Taking a look at those level 1 talents as Jaina takes a wide angle to get behind the ETC, but there we go. So why was the map Sky Temple? And I do apologize that my cursor guides are on. I will turn them off here as we see Siege Camp getting picked up. Just give me 1 second to fix my cursor guides. I do apologize that I still had them on. I had played a game earlier, forgot to turn them off, as is my custom. But there we go. Siege Camp now picked up here by both teams very quickly, as Caffeinated Knights really has dominated B West in a lot of ways. Caffeinated Knights undefeated in match play this season in B West. They have dropped 4 games. They've dropped them to Nanodaba and Phoenix Rising Onyx. Kind of some weirder ones. So Phoenix Rising Onyx took a lot of games off people. They did drop a map to AMC, so the regular season series was won by Caffeinated Knights 2-1. If I remember correctly, I think it was Arrogant Nephilim they dropped the map to. That said, when you look at the stats, they weren't super dominant. It just felt like they were able to win a lot of the long games by getting an advantage and pressuring it. One of the really interesting stats for this team, for Caffeinated Knights to me, was the fact that they are 4th in hero damage in B West. So very high up there, but they are 2nd to least damage taken. And what that tells me, and if you look at their team fight stats, they're low, they don't really team fight. That's not their game. They're going to try to out-rotate you. They play a lot of macro-oriented maps. We talked about how Towers of Doom got banned. That is absolutely a map they are known for. D-Shire got banned. A similar situation, as both teams kind of just recognize the situation as, hey, we're just going to split push, and we're going to get value that way. The difference, though, is Zul is able to side-soak here. Dahaka is not, kind of stuck up in this top lane at the moment. That said, the Raynor bringing the better burn down here for Abba Murky Cult. But that's kind of been the interesting thing, is it based on their stats and based on what I've watched, what they are going to do is they are going to take an advantage, and then they are going to look for pickoffs to stagger and maintain that hero advantage. They lead the league in time with a hero advantage. That is to say, they have more heroes on the map than you. At a whopping 19%. I mean, that is almost 1/5 of the game with that advantage. And right now, no kills yet. But they are getting some pretty interesting macro trades. That Bruiser Camp top getting just a ton of value as they fight here in the mid. As Cassia able to soak top 4v4 while Dahaka stuck clearing. Now Doberman, a little bit of an awkward position, gets the Falcon Punch from Stukov, is low, is in finish range, but the damage being turned around there by the Tassadar and Creeper. However, ETC able to steal some shots from the point. Cassia, this whole time channeling top, is getting a ton of damage onto this mid fort. It barely survives. Not all the shots have been taken by AMC. Cassia tapping, going to be able to rotate in. Dahaka still clearing this top lane, but burrowing into the fight now. Coming in from below. Doberman is a bit low. We'll see if that gets punished. ETC has blown Power Slide. There's the tongue. They're looking for the ETC, and they find a first kill of the game over to Abba Murky Cult. And there we go. Abba Murky Cult getting that first kill. It's going to help them equalize a bit. That said, structurally, the advantage currently favors the members of Caffeinated Knights. As you see, take a look at these key pelts. We'll zoom out as best as we can. You can take a look at the far sides of your screen. That is the difference in this game right now. That said, you take a look, and which lane would you rather have a fork down in? Top or bottom? Most would say bottom, especially heading into that second objective. So you got to think, while the overall structure health favors Caffeinated Knights, AMC cannot be disappointed with what they have, and it looks like they're going to go for a pick onto Jägermeister, and Jägermeister will not get out of this, and that is important to be able to kill Jägermeister. Jägermeister, really just a top-notch player, a ridiculous 12 KDA this season. 12.5, which from the assassin position is just insane. That said, I don't know if this is the best trade. They're potentially trading out top fort for bottom fort, and you got to think you'd want to preserve that fountain advantage in the bottom lane, but they are very much hard committing here. Dahaka stuck clearing the mid, and the fountain will go down. The fort very well may go down as well. Dahaka has come in. Let's see if he can buy some time. There's a power slide. They're looking for Dahaka. Essence has been blown. Akash still able to stay healthy here. And there we go. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. 32 viewers. Very hyped to see this. This is the last Coastal Final. From here on out, it is Grand Finals. At the moment, that is starting Wednesday. Caster has not been decided for that match, but it is likely to be Murda for the Division C Grand Finals starting Wednesday, depending on when B gets scheduled. We're kind of waiting to see what happens, as the winner of this series will move on to play Die for Vision, and they need to schedule that match this week, so we'll see where that goes. Just a very action-packed game, though, so far, and, you know, I gotta be honest, I've been happy with Abba Murky Cult's rotations. That said, right now, putting a lot of effort to getting value into the top lane and giving up a ton of shots into this bottom, I don't know if that's the strategy. You'd think they really would want to emphasize this bottom lane advantage. And instead now they've given up their bottom fort, and they're about to give up their mid fort and start taking keep damage bottom. Now, yes, they're going to get some traded out in the top, but Zul can rotate in and clear that quickly. Here comes the 4v4, and Diaka comes in. Now this is a 5v4 situation. Flailing Swipe has come out. Harbor separate out. There's a big three-man Moss, and Shestral's going to come out and save Tassadar, but it's not going to save Dahaka. Dahaka goes down, but so does Cassia. That's the big damage, and Stukov has gone down as well. Can they get one more kill? They're looking at the ETC. Rhaegar chooses not to go for that bite, recognizing the turnaround potential that is there. The last shots are going to get picked up here by Abba Murky Cult, but, you know, you look at it, they haven't yet grabbed the mid fort. Let's take a look. Top wall is down. That can help. Siege camp now being grabbed by Abba Murky Cult. Zul, though, cleaning up the top, saving that last tower. Raynor wants to push in on this mid. Interesting that we're seeing a Raynor's Raiders rather than the Hyperion, which I think is more popular in this map, given the emphasis on structure damage. That said, we are going to see a 5v4 fight. Zul rotating in. I don't know if he'll be here in time. ETC dove in for the power slide face melt, but he did not manage to claim the point. Gets turned around on. That is another kill for Abba Murky Cult, using that 13 advantage. Interestingly, Joe has not picked a 13 yet. Did go punish, so you would expect to see the upgrade at 13 as well. But with this, they are going to be able to go ahead and grab this boss and start pressuring out this bottom lane. And Dahaka safely can clear top for the time being. As in order to gank Dahaka, they'd have to give up so much in terms of defending this bottom lane. And I like this move. Go ahead, just claim the fort, get that off the map. And now what are they going to do? It looks like they want to make Caffeinated Knights make a decision here. They're making a very clever choice to go for this top. And, you know, with this burn, they can very, very quickly take this top objective. This game feels like it's just moving at lightning speed. And now, here comes the focus on the top. They will have the spell armor that will help against the Jaina. The boss has been cleaned up bottom, though, quickly. Temples are up in 7. Looks like they're going to send Dahaka bot, rest of the team mid. We'll see how Caffeinated Knight chooses to respond. Now down about 2 levels. Call it a level and 2/3. But 16 on the horizon. So Caffeinated Knights really wants this fight here. And this is one of the things. If you get down, it can be very hard to play that pick-off style, as you can't simply afford to just run around the map here on Sky Temple when you have to constantly fend. There comes the Haka. Oh, the Blessed Shield, but the tongue. Just a little bit of a miscoordination there. And now Akash is extremely low. Ancestral not able to come in time. Black Hole tries to lock down the ETC. Does not do so. Creeperbot's still on the point, getting channel progress for Abba Murky Cult. This is a 5v4. The health bars are low. Lightning Ball comes out. It is just absolutely spreading a ton of damage. There's the Mosh, hits 3. This could be devastating for Abba Murky Cult. Cassia comes in and claims 3 with the help of Jaina, and that is 4 kills to 0 in favor of Caffeinated Knights, and that is not normally something you see on this map, a turnaround like this, but you are going to see that here. I think 16 comes in. Let's go ahead and get this out of chat. Apologies, everyone, for the bot spam. We will do the best to limit that, although keep in mind, of course, my attention is split between casting and monitoring chat. But nonetheless, that is absolutely a massive turnaround in this game. As you can see, now it went from a structural advantage almost assuredly in favor of Abba Murky Cult to Caffeinated Knights. And I have to question if Caffeinated Knights going for the 5v5 was the right call. I think may have been better just leave Dahaka bot, disengage mid, and just continue to kind of maintain their structure lead, their map control lead. Now they've lost the XP lead, they've lost the map control lead. And so, you know, you gotta maybe think that AMC, they are a brawly team. They love to fight and they're very good at it. But you gotta question if that was the right call there. If maybe the safer option was the better one. Just trade out and play for 16 advantage. Joe comes in, ETC power slide down, did get condemned, but overall, no clean engage there. ETC has Mosh up again in 3. Mosh has been extremely impactful this game. It's really been the difference between this game, AMC just running away with it, to now just an extremely even game. Haka cleaning up the top lane. Looks like we're seeing a rotation to top. On the side of AMC. That said, if they give up the next shrine on bottom completely, they will lose their bot keep, and that makes boss very, very hard to defend if it gets picked up again. Timer on boss is 45 seconds as well, and so you gotta be a bit concerned on AMC about the boss steal, but they are actually going to pressure up this top. And it looks like we're seeing some backs coming in here from Caffeinated Knights. Welly has come out. Joanna is slowed, has the Iron Skin, held it for... Ooh, there's the turnaround Blessed Shield, tongue onto the ETC. Black Hole zoning out the team. The Face Melt not able to secure the escape. And ETC has gone down once again. Now AMC with an opportunity to control the map. Zul is channeling the bot lane. Dahaka going to come down and pressure it for the time being. Raynor channeling the top. So right now AMC with both channels, and it looks like at this point AMC is actually guessing right that the focus will be towards this bottom lane by the members of Caffeinated Knights, and so they are down here ready to defend. And now Zul's a bit caught out, but Stukov is rotating in, and it's going to be a 4v4 at the moment. Akash on the point channeling, about halfway done with the shots. Raynor almost 3/4 of the way done up in the top. And now this is just a dire situation for Caffeinated Knights where, you know, if you get down on this map, it's very hard to look for those pickoffs, and it's very hard to get any kind of advantage here, as now they are about to lose both of their keeps. that were remaining. And so this, I think, very well played by AMC. A bit fortunate in terms of guessing right. I don't think they had vision of Caffeinated Knights for that guess, but nonetheless, still expected the rotation bottom and was there to address it. So getting pretty much all of those shrines, save for a few shots stolen by Zool. And now with level 20, Caffeinated Knights is going to go ahead and take their top bruiser. They are going to rotate down. They have to imagine boss might be taken. Fears allayed a bit by seeing the siege grabbed. As now they say, okay, they're on siege, that's fine. But AMC doing really well here in this game. Now keep in mind, AMC is not a team that goes quietly into that good night. They lost 4 series this season. All 4 series, they took a map. All 4 series that they did lose, they lost 1 too. So they will not get swept here. I don't think. That's not to say they've won this game yet, but certainly a big advantage now. Sky Temple, a very, very hard map to come back from in this situation. About the only way they can do it is a boss steal. Death Metal picked up by the ETC. Level 20 is now here for both teams. The Haka up on the top, could burrow in. The boss has been started here. This is incredibly risky. This has been spotted out by Caffeinated Knight. Zool, though, however, is top. So Dahaka could burrow into the back line. Caffeinated Knights is actually not letting the boss leash, and I don't know if that's the play. Here comes ETC. No, gets interrupted out of the mosh with the Blessed Shield from Joanna. Dahaka, though, burrows into the backline, but just absolutely gets turned on. Nonetheless, ETC goes down. Death Mosh only catching Tazadar. Akash is extremely low, manages to escape through the bush. Stukov trying to steal with the flailing swipe. No, does not get it through. Oh, the boss has been stolen, but at what cost? Doberman, though, extremely low in the backline. Doberman has the invincible, is going to go down here to the Zool route, will not be able to escape this. Or will they? No, they will not. But that said, Dahaka has gone down actually as well there. As has Cassia, so a bit of a trade out there. But all 5 heroes do finally get finished up as Jaina and Zool get chased down. And now you got to think run core. You have the Rhaegar Rainer. That is a ton of burn. You do have to worry a bit about the ETC. ETC will have Mosh available coming up in 20 seconds. But that said, they're backing to defend the core. No, it looks like it's going to be a base race. The core versus the boss. You got to think the Rainer wins that. Tassadar did not go Archon, so you do lose a little bit of siege damage. It is down to 75%. ETC is going to be looking for that Mosh here, trying to get onto the Rainer. There is the Mosh. Do they have the interrupt there? They don't manage to interrupt, but nonetheless, the core is still falling, and AMC is going to win that race handedly. And AMC goes up 1-0 in this series, and I need a minute to catch my breath. That game was just all action all the time there. My goodness. Well, AMC certainly was the underdog heading into this. Again, Caffeinated Knights lost 0 matches until this point. They won every match in the regular season, only dropped 4 maps. Didn't lose any match. 2-0-2-0 on their previous playoff games. AMC says, not so fast. And they come in, they put up a big game here. 11-7 in kills. Almost turned against them in that mid-game off that 5-man wipe. Or 4-man wipe, I should say. Four deaths to 0. But managed to bring it back, recuperate, and won it off the better macro. And both these teams, arguably the best macro teams in B West, in my mind. But AMC having the better macro for Sky Temple. And that kind of gets to what you would see if you looked at the maps. If you look at the maps, Caffeinated Knights is always going to ban Tomb. They're always going to ban Braxis. Those 2 maps are not available. The only time that they've had those maps banned against them, Braxis or Tomb, they've usually used that extra ban on Sky Temple. They had not played Sky Temple at all this season. By comparison, Abba Murky Cult has played every map. They've played all 10 maps this season. They tend to target their map bans at the enemy team. But we're going to see what happens is we get set up for game number 2. And here, you can see the talent builds. You do, as chat's mentioning, that upgraded Rhaegar Ancestral. The double Ancestral, the AoE as well. Very strong. But we'll see what happens. I personally am a big fan of Ancestral. I quite like it as a Rhaegar. I've always found Ancestral a lot more fun to play than press R and face roll on keyboard. But with that, the first map has been picked up here by AMC. Don't know why that's not up. Why is the score not updating? There we go. All right. So with that, we'll be right back here. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Nexus Gaming Series. DB Smiley here, bringing you this B West final. Winner, as we talked about, will move on to face Die for Vision, the surprise 7th seed out of the East. But game 1 headed over to the side of ABBA Murky Cult. Caffeinated Knights, you know, they're the favorite here. Again, hadn't lost a match yet. But with that, they do lose map 1. This is a best of 5 series. So ABBA Murky Cult certainly holding the upper hand at the moment. But stranger things have happened. It has been a season of reverse sweeps in best of 5. We move into Cursed Hollow here. It's going to be map 2. Caffeinated Knights choosing to stick with first pick. Now, I should note, again, no data on Caffeinated Knights for Sky Temple. Whereas on the side of AMC, they were 2-1 on the map. Now find themselves 3-1. Cursed Hollow, a map where AMC 1-0 heading into tonight. On the other side, 2-1 from Caffeinated Knights. And, you know, after Dragonshire and Towers, I tend to think of Cursed Hollow as a more kind of macro pick-oriented map. So I'm kind of surprised to see AMC pick this over some of the more brawly maps that they might prefer. Say Volskaya, although admittedly Caffeinated Nights does well on that map. Infernal Shrines, both teams fairly even there. But once again, sticking with the same bands from Caffeinated Nights, going with that tank choke, and I expected this tonight a bit. Diablo certainly was not going to be put into the hands of Doberman. They want to take out the Garrosh as well. There's the Joanna pick, and this is what I actually expected in Game 1 from Caffeinated Nights. When you look at the tank picks from AMC, the top 3 tanks have played the vast majority of their games. Diablo's played 9, Joanna's played 9, Garrosh has played 5. ETC, their third tank, they've only played 3 times, and they're 1 and 2 on the tank. They kind of have to begrudgingly pick it here, though. They are going to pair it with the Ana. Now, Ana is the healer that they play the most on the side of AMC, but they don't actually have the best record with it. They're only 4 and 4 on the heroes compared to a Stukov, they're 4 and 1 on. A Lucio, they're 3 and 0 on. A Malfurion, they're 3 and 0 on. So I'm kind of surprised to see them put that priority there. That said, I don't think they wanted to give up the Li Ming Ana. That certainly gets shown a lot by Caffeinated Nights. They are going to grab their Ming, which is one of their top 4 assassins. Greymane, Hanzo, Ming, and Sylvanas that they play the most. Pairing that with Anduin, their most played healer. So right now, fairly comfort picks, actually. Their most played tank, their most played healer, and one of their tied for 3 most played assassins on the side of Caffeinated Nights. Meanwhile, that ETC is definitely a bit off kilter for AMC. It's not something they play a lot. Mephisto is going to get banned out. That's a bit surprising. It's not a hero that AMC has played a ton, as opposed to, say, the Greymane or the Raynor. But letting that through, Leo was banned out from Caffeinated Nights, their second most played offlaner. Although, keep in mind that Caffeinated Nights is playing with a different offlaner than most of their stats are associated with. So Arc is playing tonight, does not have the vast majority of the games. The vast majority of games are Saiyan CP9, who is not playing. And actually, to that end, should be filling out. We have an Abathur pick. So this has been something we've seen thrown out. AMC has picked Abba twice. They are 1 and 1 on the hero. Typically, it had been Majini on the Abba, but they're putting Creeper Bots on it. Now, Majini and Creeper Bots both play healers. So Abba Murky Cult kind of has 6 players that they rotate in and out. They don't have a consistent 5-man roster, really. That said, we are going to have an Abba Vala as the target against the Tracer, though. The Tracer is definitely going to give Ana a hard time, you'd have to imagine. So this is going to be a tough matchup, I think, for Abba Murky Cult. They will have the Abba to help a bit, but they don't really have anyone to dive with the Tracer, so ETC could turn around with Imperius. I think that could help, but these teams are just going through draft. It feels like a blistering pace, not really letting the clock tick down in most cases. It's my way of saying I'm still getting things set up here as we get set up for this next game. I'll go ahead and introduce the team. Sorry, no pretty pop-ups, as I simply just didn't have time to get it set up here. But it's going to be Osmanthus on the Joanna, Jägermeister on Li Ming, Vivanche is going to be on the Tracer, Archon Blaze, Harbor is going to be on the Anduin, and on the right-hand side, Abba Murky Cult up 1-0 in this series. It's going to be Creeper Bots is on the Abathur, Doberman on ETC, Majini is going to be on the Ana, Akash on Imperius, and Hellfire going to be on Vala. As we head into this match, I just, Vala Ana feels weird to me. You don't really get value off the Nano. You don't really get value off the Nano with the Vala. So maybe it's Eye of Horus? And Anna just sits in base so Tracer can't kill her? I don't know. We'll see. But right now, Imperius already up in the top. Abba already soaking the bot. Remember, Abba automatically collects soak when he has his hat on a minion. Here's a focus onto Imperius. And last game we saw a quick pick off onto Jägermeister. But that is what Caffeinated Knights, that's them playing the way they want to play. They want to go for these pickoffs and try to stagger kills. Meanwhile, it is a Caltrops. It is a Caltrops Vala. Vala Anna moving straight into their Bruiser. Bit of a surprise. Normally, you want to go Siege Bruiser when your Siege is in the Curse lane to get the Siege in earlier. Whereas, if it's in the opposite lane, you want to go Bruiser Siege. But we are seeing a Bruiser Siege actually kind of start at the same time here for AMC. On the other hand, the much more standard Bruiser Siege play coming out from Caffeinated Knights, albeit they don't have as much camp clear, certainly, as the Vala with the Abathur hat is going to have. Right now, both Bruiser camps going to meet in the middle. Ark, Akash, just playing around each other in the bottom. Nobody looking to make the aggressive play. Certainly, if it came down to fisticuffs, you'd have to favor Akash here, as Akash is actually able to do damage. That said, Tracer pushing against this Abba in the top. Abba stepping out to soak. It's a little cheeky, not gonna lie. Tracer, though, coming down, potentially looking for the flank onto Anna here. Condemn does hit. Now ETC is low. Great sleep dart there by Majini. Majini just saving Doberman's life, potentially, with that sleep bomb. Tracer does have the bomb available, you would imagine. And speaking of the bomb being available, Akash Spear is down. No mobility. There is the bomb. Spear comes up, and Akash manages to get away from that. Just another split second he would not have. Now, with the Abba comp, if you can win an early token, it's never a bad thing. But your primary goal is to stall, and there we see the Anna Sleep Dart doing just that. That said, 5v4 here in the bottom. You do have the Vala with the Abba hat. That's going to help quite a bit. Meanwhile, in the back, though, Harbor, is he going to get the channel through? He does. And manages to escape. Now, Abba having a hard time body soaking because of the Siege Giants. Still doing fairly well there, but, you know, AMC certainly wanted that Shrine to last longer and wanted to get an XP lead with the Abathur body soak, and really got neither. So now, Imperius getting spotted out in this bush. Vala chunking out a lot of damage onto Tracer. Tracer likewise chunking some damage out onto Vala. But as yet, level 7 is here for the side of Caffeinated Knights. Li Meng pushing in the top. These Siege Giants, by the way, are still here. Much like COVID-19, they're not going to go away by just being bored of them. Is that too political? Well, then wear your fucking mask. Problem solved. Just felt like a public service announcement. ETC finally comes up to clear up the Siege Giants, but just look how much damage they did even with the Abba defending. We are now seeing the channel onto the objective. This would be the second objective. Ooh, Akash dodges the root, but gets hit by the Condemned. Li Meng comes in, and Jägermeister gets the first kill. A little bit of an awkward angle there, but now you have to see a full retreat coming out from Abba Murky Cult, but Hellfire is not going to get out. Neither is ETC. And with that now, that is not what you wanted outside of Abba Murky Cult. You wanted to stall. You certainly didn't want to lose 3 people there. Mule coming down to defend. It's not very... Abathur uses Mule. It's not very effective. So now, Caffeinated Knight's pushing in bot, and they have really expanded this XP lead. And with the ABBA comp, I mean, the goal of the ABBA comp is to get 10 first. And you're not going to get even close to that on the side of AMC right now. And now ETC. Cue Jaws music. No, he has face melt. ETC will escape, but level 10 versus level 9. This should be cursed for Caffeinated Knights, and there's basically nothing AMC can do about it. They're at least going to make an aggressive boss steal play, but that's really all they can do at this point. And then they have to rotate back to defending lanes. The curse has come in. ETC has shown top. There's not really anything for ETC to retreat to. ETC may very well go down here. Does have the face melt power slide to get away. Jaeger on the chase, but shots get intercepted by the tower, or by the well, excuse me. So that's going to get cleaned up here in the top lane very quickly. ETC rotating to mid. Boss has been grabbed bottom and will push, but it's not really going to get any minion support. Does have a Siege Giant as well. This is an interesting turnaround play here from AMC, trying to go for just counter push. But, you know, this is your keep. That's a fort. This is a keep. They're still pushing, but this is a keep. And they're going to give up their keep to push bottom. Well, so that's an interesting choice. They protect mid and bot lane, and they get pressure bot lane, but in exchange they give up their top keep and really weaken their top lane. It's an interesting decision. We'll see if it pays off for them. Unironically, a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off for them. As it is a very aggressive strategy. But certainly if they can start finding some kills, they have that opportunity to open up that win condition in the bottom lane, and possibly with a boss, even set that up. That said, if they lose their own top boss, it could be a very early GG. This is a... This is very risky. We got an invasion here. The clone has come out. Sleep Dart onto Joe. There is the Vala clone now, chunking in. Ooh, there's the spear on the Tracer. Gets the cleanse out. Great cleanse from the Abathur. Tracer throws the bomb out, but it's not very effective there. Stage dive comes in. They're going to catch Arc. They got the power slide in. They're looking for the Tracer. They find Tracer. This is the opportunity they need. Strafe comes out looking for more kills. Are they going to get the power slide? Joe took a moment to mount up. That is going to allow Doberman to stay on top of it. But now I'm going to back up. Boss going to be grabbed top here. You can't afford to give this up with this much pressure into the top lane. As you can already see two Katas lined up. Abba currently sitting at core. Joe potentially looking for an aggressive play, trying to buy time for Li Ming to come in. If they can get one kill, oh, they got the first kill, and that's all they need with the Jägermeister Li Ming. This could be devastating for AMC. The boss has been stolen. Sleep Dart comes out. It's at least going to allow the escape of ETC and the Ana, but man. Oh no, there's the Bless Shield. There's the root. Do they have power slide to get through? Gets interrupted. Imperius goes down to Li Ming here in the bottom. Jägermeister getting a big couple of kills there, and that could be disastrous for Abba Murky Cult. ETC has blown power slide, didn't collect anyone. Now has to back up here. Stage dive comes in. There's the clone. ETC, though, going to drop to the combustion here. But they do get a turnaround kill with the strafe. Creeper Bots is going to drop. Vala gets back into the Hall of Storms to heal. The shields are down and the core is taking damage. Imperius tries to go on the backline. The health bar is so low, but the damage has to focus on killing this boss. And so with that, they will save their core. They do have Mule. They have Mule. But that Mule is going to take a long time to heal up 52% of their core. Meanwhile, though, they are getting some value here in the mid, but they have made 0 tribute progress. I don't even know how long this tribute's been sitting here. But with that, just feels like Caffeinated Knights, they found their macro again here, and this is what I talked about. They want to get that kill, they want to find you out of position, they want to trade your ults, and then with that pick, they want to keep staggering. And they turned that into a pretty healthy chunk onto the enemy core, and now it feels like AMC is just kind of desperately looking for a fight here. They want to get this tribute, they want to try to set up a win condition, but man, there's just... Oh no, oh, Imperius is going to go down. ETC goes in, Light Bomb, no! And oh my goodness, they didn't have the ABBA clone. Sleep Dart comes in, Anna and Vala are at least going to escape. But that is another tribute. 4th tribute grabbed by Caffeinated Knights. It was there a long time. AMC committed a lot of resources, did not get it. And they don't have that level 16 Anna burst heal. And you gotta think they're really wishing they had it right now. As now this mid fort goes down and this strategy of, you know, we'll trade top lane for value elsewhere starting to fall apart here. As now they're about to lose all that value they've built up elsewhere. Well on their way to losing bottom fort. Boss is going to be the call here from the side of Caffeinated Knights. Oh, no, they're not going to start it yet. There we go. Now they're going in. But it just feels like AMC's been on the back foot really since the beginning of this game here. And it's not been the assertion that we've seen from them on Sky Temple. It felt like AMC on Sky Temple was really assertive. They knew when they wanted to go in. They knew when they wanted to back up. Not to say it always worked, but they were calling the fights. Now it feels like AMC's just reacting and saying, oh, I guess we got to fight here. Oh, I guess we got to fight here. And that is going to be Imperius going down. Once again, ETC comes in. There's the Light Bomb. And oh no, as soon as they're back up, they go down again. The Eye of Horus is not going to make a damn bit of difference. As that is ETC and Imperius instantaneously deleted once again. And now this will certainly be a boss picked up in the bottom by the members of Caffeinated Knights. As they are well on their way to winning Game 2. It's going to take... It's going... Basically, here's the win condition now. You have to take a fight in the bottom half of the map, which is going to be difficult because the next objective is top. The next boss up is top. You have to take a fight in the bottom half of the map, win, and rush core on the side of AMC. It feels like. As right now, they just... Time is not on their side. They have a boss pushing in the bot lane. They have Kata pressure constantly in the top. And they are facing down a 2-0 tribute deficit for the second time this game. Fort has gone down. It looks like Caffeinated Knights, they want to rotate here, it seems. What are they making a play for? Siege is not up yet. They're actually going to stay bottom. They're going to go ahead and give that. Back's coming in. Here comes the defense. 16 is here. But it just feels like AMC has not had a solid engage in practically forever. And that's not even to say the engagements have gone well when it's gotten them. They probably only had one, what I would call very strong engage in this game. They're going to have to start turning around quick. That said, the core is back to 100 health. The mule will keep the keep healthy. But the next fight, as I mentioned, likely to be over this boss. And that favors Caffeinated Knights in terms of an opportunity cost. If they fight over this boss and lose, they might lose a keep in bottom, but most likely they'll be back up in time. Well, no, they're 18. They're about to be 19. Their times get long. They'll probably lose keep and bot. But if they win this fight, they end the game. The Abba clone has been blown early for the boss clear, and there's the stun combo on Imperius. ETC power slides through. The Vala is still attacking the boss. I don't think there was a recognition that needed to be had on the side of AMC. It just felt like their team was really wanting the boss, and now they've lost everyone. And that will certainly be the game. Siege Giants up here. 2 Katas and a boss about to pressure down. Don't even need to go for the curse token. just turn your attention right onto this core. And I don't know if AMC just... I have to imagine there was maybe a miscommunication there. But that did not look like the team was on the same page. I mean, the ABBA clone was blown for the boss. And it stayed on the boss while ETC and Imperius were engaging. Well, Caffeinated Nights comes back in a big way in game number 2. Really dominant showing by them. Just in control the whole way through that game. At no point did AMC look like they were able to get even their feet underneath them. There's only one point where they managed to get a couple kills, but off those 2 kills, they really didn't get anything on the side of AMC. So people are asking in chat, is this a best of 5? Not anymore, it isn't. Taking a look at the results here, this is now a best of 3 starting now. So effectively score 0-0. This is now a best of 3. You got to win 2 more games on either side. We'll see what ABBA Murky Cult chooses to do. Are they going to stick with map? Are they going to go first pick? We'll find out when we're back on the Nexus Gaming Series. Stay tuned. Thank you all for watching so much. Welcome back, everyone, as we jumped right into the draft before I had time to do my usual transition. Out of the gate, we're seeing the Hanzo and the Diablo ban and the Sylph ban. So, sticking with banning those top 4 assassin picks that we often see out of Caffeinated Knights, Hanzo, Sylvanas up there with Ming and Greymane as favorites. They did leave the Li Ming up. We'll see if that bites them. Joanna and Diablo ban. That does leave the Garrosh available. That said, if they pick Garrosh, you would see the ETC come out from Caffeinated Knights, which certainly is kind of the standard counter to that. Emphasis onto the Rhaegar here. That surprises me. It hasn't felt like this series has been overly focused on healer choices, and yet we see the first pick Rhaegar coming out from Majani. I don't know if I agree with that, given kind of the meta of the draft that has formed in this series. A big emphasis on the tanks and on those hyper carry assassins, and they do let Jaeger jump right back onto Li Ming on arguably one of Li Ming's best maps. I mean, this is a very strong map for Li Ming, given that the objective is done in a space where Ming can poke fairly safely. You have to stay on the point to maintain it. I gotta be honest, I don't like that draft strategy coming out from AMC. They're jumping onto the Greymane follow-up. They pick out the Zul as well, so they want to maybe look at some double rotations and try to push. They will have potentially a very strong Bloodlust combo, which could pair well with the Garrosh. Presumably, that's who they'll pick here, as Leo has been banned out, as has the Tassadar, which we saw in Game 1. I mean, there are teams that if they pick Rhaegar first, and there are series where I'll see a Rhaegar pick first and I'll be like, yeah, that's fine. Series where there's two kind of very aggressive teams that both want to prioritize getting their heal picks, that both want to play like either a Bloodlust style comp or disengage style comp. And I can see a Rhaegar picked first in situations. It just doesn't feel like this is one of those situations. Let's all be nice and chat. And let's just go ahead and let's just continue to be nice. And if you come back in 10 minutes and you're nice, you get to stay. Otherwise, get the fuck out. That's all I have to say to that. Once again, just a blistering pace through this draft. Apologies that I had to break character there for a second. But, see the Maiev coming out. This is something that we've seen kind of picked on this map, and it can certainly set up the Ming and the Stukov with some pretty devastating combos if they can land them. Yeah, I'm not gonna have people come in here and badmouth a for fun league where everyone's really just trying to have fun and everyone's been succeeding, and just because you're not enjoying it, that's not my problem. With that, looking at this draft, I gotta say I like the comp out of AMC this time around. The Jägermeister Ming scares me. I fear no man, but Li Ming is not a man. Jägermeister, I actually don't know Jägermeister's gender. I think I've talked to Jägermeister before, and if I remember, male, but I'm not certain. Regardless, we're going to jump here into game number 3 in this best of 5. 1-1, Caffeinated Knights. Vivanchi is going to be on Maiev. I said that wrong. Apologies. Ark is going to be on Blaze. Harbor on Stukov. Osmanthus is going to be on ETC. And Jägermeister on Ming, of course. On the right side, Creeper Bots is going to be on the Jaina. Doberman on Garrosh. Akash on Zul. And Hellfire is going to be on that Greymane. Majani on the Rhaegar. Ketchup on mac and cheese is fantastic. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. And it's because I grew up in the greater Pittsburgh area, so I put ketchup on everything. I didn't really grow up in the greater Pittsburgh area. I grew up in West Virginia, but we get Pittsburgh marketing. But with that, up on the top, a wave of soak has been lost by AMC as they sent no one top to get it. They really wanted that pick onto Blaze, and that was a big opportunity cost, I think, to go for it. Greymane, though, starting to work on this siege camp, on this turret camp. ETC looking like he wants to scout out maybe a counter-engage. Stukov and Ming should be able to join. We'll see if Garrosh has come down. ETC trying to stall the objective, give a chance for Ming to come in. But at what cost? Now ETC finds himself kind of on the wrong side of the rest of the enemy team. I can't mac and cheese be sacred? Dude, everything goes well on mac and cheese. Everything goes well on mac and cheese. Have you ever had, like, authentic crab mac and cheese? It's like Dungeous crab mac and cheese is the best thing ever. Ooh, Majini took a huge amount of poke. The heal camp is on the ground. Nobody has picked it up. Now there's a big power slide in. Might want to drop that healing totem. AMC does manage to get it. So overall, they're winning the... You know, he who has the best toys. Oh, did I just get banned from NGS? Feels bad. People who like ketchup apparently are not welcome here. Pineapple on a pizza, apparently those fucking heretics will tolerate. But God forbid we put anything on noodles besides cheese. I don't want to ever hear another debate. If we can't do... I'm missing the game for the board. It's early game. We've seen the one fight that's going to occur before the objective. This is the point where I get to relax and talk shit, and now we have the objective. I'm going to focus on that. But then I'm going to come back to shitting on people who like pineapple on their pizza. This is the way it goes. Showing talents. Right now it's AMC getting the channel progress. They are winning the race to 7. They should pick it up here off this mid-soak. There it is. Level 7 coming in. Zool stepping down onto Blaze, making sure to pick up this soak. ETC now stepping onto the point. Garrosh is kind of back in behind, but now having to blow the Unstoppable just to get back. It was certainly an awkward position. Maiev has taken the blink, but still the point controlled for the moment. 90%. There's a big power slide with the silence, and that's going to prevent the Unstoppable. And Greymane and Garrosh go down to the Maiev Tower. What an excellent, excellent play there by Vivanche. I keep wanting to say Vivanchi, and I think it's Vivanche. It's the emphasis is on the second syllable. I know that. But with that, that will allow some channel progress to be grabbed here on the side of Caffeinated Knights. An absolutely fantastic combo there by the Maiev. But it will not secure the point yet. Turret about to be picked up here. All 5 members ready to counter-invade. It is 79% and counting. Garrosh steps onto the point. Rhaegar available with the cleanse. Drops the healing totem. Good positioning on that healing totem. Making sure it maximizes its value. Ooh, Maiev has a big blink opportunity. Grabs 2. Cleanse came in onto Zool, but he didn't take the opportunity to walk away. Big power slide. Now Doberman and Zool are both low, but a big combo there from the Garrosh to disengage this. Doberman has 42 armor, so while his health bar is low, he is very tanky still. Greymane has to do a weird escape there just to get away. Overtime has kicked over. Power slide there onto Zool. Doberman gets pulled into the silence, goes down, and that should be Caffeinated Knights winning this first objective. The emphasis on the second syllable. It's designed to be an ironic way to say the emphasis on the second syllable. With that, this protector already takes out this mid wall. Well, almost. Hasn't gone down yet, but Ming has already prepped the lane a bit. So minions should be able to get here soon. Garrosh trying to pressure his backline. Often that's something that you'll oh dear. That almost was catastrophic. If Garrosh did not have the self-unstoppable. Oh, there is the Ancestral, though. But the Mosh, the Warden's Cage, the Ring of Frost, the Silence onto the point. It is a wombo combo and a half here. The Combustion comes out. They get Greymane. They're going to get Doberman unless the Healing Totem gets mass value. It does. Zul, however, has gone down. And what an amazing combo there. Everyone hit their R buttons. But that Stukov Silence is just such a brutal tool with that Warden's Cage, especially with that level 7 growing infestation. There's just nowhere safe to hide in there. But now, Focus pushing onto this top lane. Triglav Protector is down, but nonetheless, they could get the well. They are going to turn their attention, however, towards the Medic Camp. Siege Camp has been picked up in the top early by AMC. We'll see how long the Siege Camp gets stalled out. Ooh, there's looking for the engage. Power slides out of the Garrosh. Good flailing swipe to disengage. Harbor is a bit slowed, but manages to get away far enough to escape safely. And that was a good flailing swipe there, recognizing that was not the fight they wanted. Those were not the droids they were looking for. Like the Rhaegar, recognizing this team likes to go for picks. Good positioning on his totem. Garrosh checks the turret camp, recognizes they're not on it, sees 3 top. Maybe they go for the invade. What are they going to do? Maybe actually look for pick off. Ooh, ETC rotated, auto-pathing, not even once. Will this cost him his life? It will not, but it might cost Jaina. No, managed to get away. Big root combo there from Stukov under the tower. Hits 2. If ETC were any healthier, you'd expect a power slide in and a killer mosh. There's a good root combo there. And Stukov, his best tool is his root combo. I mean, it is why you pick the hero. Yes, great sustained healing. Yes, a lot of fascinating, diverse builds, but it all comes down to when a big root combo lands, it wins a team fight. That said, turret has now been picked up and is sitting in the hands of Ark on that blaze. Jägermeister with the healing totem in hand as well, so the toy advantage is favoring Caffeinated Knights at this point. Should note, both these teams like this map quite a bit there. As it looks like Caffeinated Knights setting up maybe to look for a pick. They do face melt the Jaina rather than power slide in because of the Garrosh. Wise decision that was. Zul is rotating up. Ooh, needs to be a bit careful. If ETC, I think, came down, he may have been able to cut that off, but I think they were focused primarily on the lane there. But both these teams like this map quite a bit. As we see AMC, 4-1 on the map heading in here. 3-0! Caster was not paying attention. Huge combo kills Rhaegar. Garrosh managed to escape. Ring of Frost turnaround. This might be enough. Is it going to be enough? No! Oh no, it is enough. They find that 3rd kill, but now Creeper Bots is low. Healing Totem not enough. Zul gets in the backline, finds 2 more. That turnaround was amazing. That was a 5-man Ring of Frost. Absolutely critical Ring of Frost there. Wow. So with that, that will enable AMC to get some channel progress and potentially look to start turning this game around. Rhaegar Greymane currently working on, well, not Rhaegar, but Greymane currently working on the Siege Camp. Rhaegar Is he going to start on the heel camp? Looks like he is. Blaze will spot this out here. And with all 4 members spawning at the same time, I don't think they have the time to take this. I think they need to just walk away. Holy cow, that Ring of Frost. Now heel camp is going to be grabbed by Caffeinated Knights. Garrosh has 16. Overtime is here. Garrosh should just walk away. He can afford to step off the point and get healthy. Instead, gets the combo. Here comes Maiev. Ooh, gets the pull onto Rhaegar. That might be enough. Is the Ancestral going to come in time? It does. Big ring. Hits only onto Blaze, but everyone else slowed. There's the flailing swipe trying to get away. Arc is low. Zul does get a big skeletal mages down. Arc going to have a hard time escaping this. There's the slow into the fray used. Garrosh just killed a motherfucker with another motherfucker. And great separation there onto ETC to get the finish. AMC, that was the best fight they've had this series. Garrosh beat a motherfucker with another motherfucker there. You love the Into the Fray kills. Isn't that the best way to get a kill with Into the Fray? That is my favorite kill every time I see it. Oh, man. That was a good turnaround once again. AMC, last couple fights, looked like they were starting bad. That fight certainly did. And the turnaround has been key. That time keeping all 5 alive, so they're going to be able to push this top wall with this Triglav protector. They do get the wall down. Now let's see what they do with the rest of this timer. Ooh, Majini gets away. Okay. Ivanchi getting that mid soak. Zul rotating down to the bottom. ETC dismounted there. Looks like the focus will be to this bot lane. With what is left, 20% on the Triglav. ETC looking for that flank mosh. There's the focus onto Rhaegar. ETC has the opportunity. Does get rooted there. Uses the Guitar Hero. Ancestral onto Rhaegar. With the skeletal mages helping the peel. Ring of Frost off the Stukov power. Flailing swipe, though, does catch the Stukov and the Maiev. Gets them both quite low. That said, it is Jaina who's going to be the first to fall. Decimate trying to find a finish. So far, they haven't yet. Arc is so low, but is going to be able to escape. The health bar is just so low, but not able to find that finish without that Jaina. Ooh, oh, great unstoppable there by Doberman. But that said, he does not have... Oh! Majini with the critical save off that root totem. That was a very good disengage there by AMC off the kill. Both teams grabbing their turret. Really good disciplined rotations onto their turrets very quickly. I like this. Like to see it. Siege camp going to be taken by both teams as well. Fort is still standing in the top on the side of AMC, so passively that should favor them. Do they get a... Yeah, they got a catapult with this wave, so passively it will favor them. That said, we are seeing a rotation coming top to commit to this. Ooh, Maiev sees this. Jaina's standing back from the point. They got to really be careful here. ETC gets dismounted. Maiev goes in. Heal Totem has been picked up. There's a big tether. Ice Block comes out. Jaina is going to be able to just Death Rattle, throw out some damage. It's enough to kill Arc, but now the question is, will Akash get away? At least drop the Healing Totem. May have been the difference between a dead Zul and a living Zul. That was a good Ice Block to buy time to look for the opportunity to get out. Make sure you can at least drop the Blizzard. Wasn't able to get off the Ring of Frost, but did help secure a kill. There's the separation onto Maiev, and they secure the kill. And that is a massive pick-off. Level 20, now here on the side of AMC. This series has just been frantic and fun, and I cannot wait to see where it goes next. But as yet, we're still here on map number 3. It's going to head to the bottom objective. Should be 20 for both teams without much trouble. Let's see what AMC does with their limited 20 window. They haven't been able to find another pick yet. They do have Maiev in the penalty box for another 30 seconds, but they're not really doing anything with it. Maybe going to push down here onto this bottom fort. They do have that catapult pushing in the top lane now. This is the every third wave with the catapult. But this has been a really good showing on map number 3 from AMC. Gotta tell you, map 1, it was fairly close, and AMC just made big plays down the line. Map 2 was all Caffeinated Knights, and I was worried that that would be a turning point in the series, as Turret Camp is now going to be started here, where Caffeinated Knights, who is the favorite in this series, would just turn on the gas and just go with it. But you know, it's been pretty even. Pretty even indeed. But here we go. Fight coming in. ETC pushing onto the point. Gets the root, so going to have to back up. This is always just the hardest place to fight, especially if you're a heavy melee comp, which AMC is. So they are going to back up for the time being. Looks like they maybe want to engage onto the Blaze. Mortal Strike is available here to limit some of that Stukov healing. Ooh, Blaze has blown the jet charge, and that might be the opportunity they're looking for. They get the separation. There's the tether. Warden's Cage comes out. Does pull Greymane back in. There's the Torbus coming in as well. The turnaround damage is real. Bodies are just hitting the floor every which direction. Zol is going to be the next to fall, but so is Maiev. And AMC came out of that absolute horrific slaughter. I mean, that was... that was very, very much... Stukov actually almost getting the turnaround kill on the Jaina. One more Falcon Punch may have done it, but my goodness. You had the Warden's Cage, Torbus, Silence, and it was a lot, but Jaina just turned around so much damage. And I gotta say, if AMC wins this game, Jaina has made a lot of plays to help along the way. And of course, you'd have the Garrosh, who is just so difficult to finish. Level 20 value, of course, from the Rhaegar as well. The double Ancestral. My goodness, that was... I couldn't even tell what was happening. Everyone was just fucking dying. And I just saw, like, silenced, rooted, every which way I looked. They do not go to push the core, makes sense. Of course, everyone coming out of the penalty box now. They are going to try to open up some opportunities here in the mid. That said, this fort is still standing, and they might be a little bit too deep here. Rest of the team, though, is up, is ready to join. They are getting some minions up as well. They do get the fort down. So all 3 forts down now for Caffeinated Knights, as well as the keep in the bottom lane. And actually, both keep walls in mid and top are also down. Are they going to be able to get this mid keep? The Triglav has 15 seconds and counting. They could do it, but it would be a huge commit, and they have to be really ready to fight that. And Maiev just used Blink, so they're going to disengage that rather than set up a Warden's Cage potentially. They are setting up for this healer camp as the Triglav falls. They have the Greymane Jaina. They can burn it very quickly. Garrosh is going to try to prevent the engage onto it. Rhaegar grabs the point. There's the Skeletal Mages, though, possibly looking for this fight. Maiev sets up the blink, does not pull the trigger. Flailing Swipe comes out. Keep in mind, Stukov did take the Flailing Swipe level 20, and as such, it's not at all a big cooldown to use by any means. But with that, both turrets going to be grabbed here by AMC as they look to get even more control over this map. Expect them to rotate into their siege. Meanwhile, looks like Caffeinated Knights not exactly sure what they want to do. Do they want to try to push top? Do they want to try to push bottom? You got to think at this point they really want a fort, at least, just to open up some kind of win condition if they can win the next objective. But it looks like top lane is now going to be pushing against them. 2 catapults and the siege camp ready to go. Potentially going to be a fight up here. We'll keep an eye on this. Greymane spotting out the Maiev. Just giving Maiev a little drink. Hey, you look thirsty. Here, have a cocktail. It's happy hour. And this is Volskaya now. It can very often go to the 4th objective. And that's what we're going to see. Certainly, given the scaling, if it gets there and AMC wins, you'd have to imagine that would be the last Triglav. Though I've seen it not be. Now, Garrosh may be stepping up a bit too far looking for the engage. Both teams kind of playing around each other, just trying to clear the map. That said, have to respond now to bottom. The double Kata stacked up, the 3rd on the way. Do they want this fight? Maybe looking for a flank? No, they're going to hover around this mid. The objective is not starting yet. Oh, we get some B steps. Just ceremonial B stepping. Fun fact, stealth heroes can B step to soak now. That's always fun. Clearing up this top lane. They want to get this Kata pushing into this keep and force a response. Obviously, bottom, the catapult pressure every lane is also going to pay off. Just trying to enable their catapults and force defensive play. Delayed rotations on the side of Caffeinated Knights. Because, and even if they clear the lanes and get to mid in time, because they have less time, they have less opportunities. They have to be less picky about the fight they ultimately take. Because of that. And so AMC playing this well, but it doesn't look like they're interested in clearing. They view this as the desperate situation that it is on the side of Caffeinated Knights. They come in with the big blink. There's the combo, looking for it. Combustion comes out. There's the Mosh. Torbus onto the backside on the Jaina. Greymane has gone down. The Ancestral does come out. Jaina in the ice block. No turnaround kills yet. There's the big Ring of Frost. Can they secure the kill? They do, but in that time, Jaina has gone down. Big silence there onto Garrosh. He can't blow the Unstoppable. Now has it, but no, the Power Slide Face Melt Pinball Wizard does secure the kill, and that is 3 kills to 1 in favor of Caffeinated Knights, and that may be enough for them to turn this game around. Top barely surviving that catapult pressure. Turret now going to be grabbed here in the mid. Excuse me, on the right side of the map, I should say, by the members of Caffeinated Knights. This will be their 2nd Triglav Protector. They did win the 1st, albeit they weren't able to really do anything with it. They're going to go ahead and grab their support camp as well, trying to get as much control of this map as they can, given just how much they won that last team fight by. And to be honest, this Maiev, when Caffeinated Knights has won fights this game, it has been off the back of the Maiev, as well as just the synergy of the ETC and Stukov following up on the Maiev. But recognizing that, on the other side, you have to then be wary of the Maiev. You have to be wary about stacking up. Because what happened was, because they had to retreat so hard from Maiev, Jaina got separated out, was not able to follow up onto the team. And that tour bus was actually just, it was a great choice to pick that moment to power slide in and just take Jaina out of the fight. As Jaina has really powered off most of these turnarounds with the Ring of Frost and the Blizzard. Ooh, Doberman taking a ton of damage from that Triglav Protector. This Triglav Protector hasn't secured a fort yet, and it's about to drop. You'd never want the 4th Triglav Protector to only pick up a single fort, but that is what happened here. Blaze is in the bottom. They want this fight. They're going for the ETC. They get the slow with the Decimate. There's the power slide into the root, though. Flip comes back, but Maiev comes in big. Mosh comes in. Torbus actually going to free the members, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get out. Rhaegar does drop there. 4 kills. Oh my goodness. The Ring of Frost hits 5, but it's no dice as everyone just got turned around on hard. What an amazing counter engage. Sometimes you gotta not throw the separated hero if you're the Garrosh, and that was one of those times. ETC got onto your backline, was able to mosh. That said, Doberman making a critical individual play, taking out the ETC. The question is, will it be enough to save the game? The Triglav Protector still has a pube hair of health left. I was about to say that Triglav did not just get a fort. Now they're turning their attention onto the core. It is only Garrosh here to defend it. He doesn't have a ton of damage. Does at least get Stukov zoned away from the core, but now with Zul coming up in 9 seconds, I don't know if they have enough time. The core is down to 63%. He's going to be able to get a kill potentially onto Stukov. Stukov does finally go down. The core is down to 22%. Are they going to be able to save this? Jägermeister has gone down 16%. Maeva's gone down 14%. They saved the core. Oh my goodness. They did it. They absolutely saved the core. This match is insane. As now the catapults already onto the bottom. They are taking minion damage, but they're at least going to soften up the shields. It is a lonely ETC. That core at 14% and change, but there's no way ETC can get there to burn it. This is an all-out core rush, and I think they've done it. I think Abba Murky Cult won the core race. Just not enough damage there. And there you see the ETC go down, and that is going to be Game 3 headed over to the side of Abba Murky Cult. As I was about to write the game up for dead, they get the core defense, and they win. My goodness, that game was nuts. That game was absolutely nuts. Wow. Oh, wow. So first they said, oh, wow, that Trigger Line Protector only got 4. Then they kill everyone. They're like, oh, yeah, we still have this, don't we? And they run it down mid. They get the keep. They go for core. Garrosh buys just enough time for his team to come up and get the defense. Had them softened up to enable the quick kills. And wow, what a game number 3. And if the next 2 games, if we get to the next 2 games, if they're like that, man, I'm going to need a drink of water. I'm going to go get that, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned, everyone, and thank you so much for watching. Welcome back, everyone. Nexus Gaming Series. Sorry, I'm a fuck up. With that, though, hell of a game 3. It just felt like first it was all about the engage from Caffeinated Nights, and then it was all about the counter engage from Have a Murky Cult, and then it was all about the counter engage from AMC. But finally, it is one lonely Garrosh, the little Garrosh that saves the day. Ultimately, and gives Abba Murky Cult the lead in this series as we head to Infernal Shrines, chosen by Abba Murky Cult here. Infernal Shrines is going to be a map that they have played quite a bit this season. Overall, AMC is 3-2 on the map heading into tonight. Caffeinated Nights 3-1. So kind of a neutral map here, but that said, it is more team fighty, it is more brawly, and I think that's what Abba Murky Cult wants. I think they want to avoid maps that are maybe more geared towards kind of the macro rotational play, which we have seen Caffeinated Nights play quite well indeed. But that said, it has just been a heck of a series. The Rhaegar getting a ton of value there, but ultimately Creeper bots just with some massive plays. But here we go, jumping into the draft on Infernal Shrines. Abba Murky Cult looking for the finisher. Will they end it here and pull the upset, giving Caffeinated Nights their first match loss of the season? Or will Caffeinated Nights take us to that coveted Game 5? This is a map where banning Diablo would make sense, even not against Abba Murky Cult. We saw Diablo Garrosh be the target bans in the first 2 games. And going right back to that, after Game 3, they let the Garrosh through. Abba Murky Cult not going to have the first pick. Now, this is a map where there are certain picks that are very high priority that may not be on other maps. But with the Joe grab, they're trying to put Abba Murky Cult, I think, back onto the ETC. And I do think the ETC struggled greatly in game number 2. This is how I expected Caffeinated Nights to play this tonight, was try to go for first pick and try to tank choke. And we're now seeing that here. Abba Murky Cult, their top 3 tanks by far are now all banned. Diablo, Joe, Garrosh. ETC is their 4th, and it does not have a winning record. So instead, rather than prioritizing tank yet, they're going to go into the Sonya and the Lucio. Sonya, of course, very strong on this map. Lucio's strong as well. Sound Barrier can get a lot of value. Tons of wall ride potential. There's the Greymane, though, which is one of those top 4 assassins. Do they just go Greymane Ming? This is not a Ming map, really. You don't think of it as one anyway. They could go into Raynor. They could go Cassia. They're going to pick up the Rhaegar here. I like this. They have the Greymane Rhaegar. They have the option to build a Bloodlust comp or to go into something more of kind of that just self-sustain through everything. Get the Ancestral for the Greymane to enable him to be aggressive onto the back line. We'll see which direction they go. Leo banned out. Standard bans from AMC. It's been the Hanzo Sylvanas Leo all night. And Arthas now taken out, given that the Greymane was grabbed. And I think, to me, this shows a lack of respect for the ETC coming out. Actually, I just noticed Doberman is on Lucio. Doberman's the tank. Doberman is almost always the tank. Majani is almost always the healer. And Majani's on Orphea. So something is afoot. Do we get stitches? Like, I'm going to say it quietly. Do we get stitches? Hey, Chad, do you think we're going to get stitches here? I don't know if we're going to get stitches. Do you know if we're going to get stitches? Phoenix Kerrigan, massive aggression coming out here from Caffeinated Nights, and I love it. What do they pick now? You want something... I mean, ETC would be good here. Against what they have, ETC would be good. But you just have to wonder if it's going to work. I don't know. What do they go? Tyrael. Okay, I like it. Sanctification. But they do not have... If I'm Jaeger, I am licking my lips right now. As where's the CC? Where's the CC? There isn't any. Right? And Kerrigan's like, "Oh, well, okay then. I'll just dive in for free." I don't like this draft from AMC. I'm just gonna say it. I do not like this draft. I think this is a team that has an incredibly broad hero pool. I mentioned this briefly at the beginning. They have played 50 different heroes this season, by far the most in B West. I probably should have expected Tyrael, but the reason I didn't suspect Tyrael is I'm like, well, okay, but then at that point, like, who tanks? And, or not tanks, excuse me, who CCs? That was the question I had. And to me, that question remains, rather unanswered, but we're going to go ahead and jump into the game here. Show those talent tiers for you. On the left side, we'll introduce the team. It's going to be Vivanchi is on Greymane Arc, on to Phoenix Harbor, on Rhaegar. Osmanthus is on Joanna, and Jägermeister on Kerrigan. On the other side, I have a Murky Cult looking to close out this series. Hellfire on Tyrael, Creeper Bots on Lucio, Majani on Orphea, Doberman on Raynor, and Akash is going to be on the Sonya. There's a big four-man condemn. Creeper Bot's already low. Kerrigan goes and finds a combo. The healing is coming out at least. There's the shield from the Tyrael, and actually a lot of turnaround damage here. Trying to get onto the Greymane, but Creeper Bots also gets a bit low, has to escape. And overall, we do see the clean getaway occur. Sonya heading to top lane. Phoenix against the Sonya, though. Should be able to pressure this Sonya quite a bit. Where did the talents go? There they are. Jägermeister, just an incredibly skilled player. In my mind, the pound-for-pound best assassin in B West. In Division B entirely, I would say. I don't know why I say pound for pound. I don't know Jägermeister's weight. I assume average? I don't know. I'm never going to be allowed to cast again. Anyway. Sonya right now doing the double soak. While the focus here onto the bot camp. Pardon me. Kerrigan has come down. Has an opportunity. Doesn't quite land a combo. Sonya has joined 5v4. They are going to grab this bottom camp. How much soak are they going to lose in the process now becomes the question. Not too much. Sonya going to be able to spin the wind to clear this mid lane out very quickly. But there is going to certainly be some soak lost up here in the top. As Sonya's still finishing up this mid. And the minion's about to die out of the wall. Sonya's going to go and probably be able to get most of that soak. But to that end, this has just been a crazy, aggressive series, and I've really enjoyed watching it. I should note, my team actually played ABBA Murky Cult in Heroes Lounge last season. My team, Jailbait, which thankfully is being renamed. And, you know, we had a pretty good match we thought out of them. I think we 2-0'd them, if I remember correctly, though. I gotta say, they looked so much improved. This is a very unconventional draft, to say the least. I mean, I guess Orphea, Lucio, you have mobility. Sonya doesn't really need CC. I'm still worried, because if that Kerrigan gets going, things will fall apart really quick for AMC. Caffeinated Knights, going to be reliant, though, on Jaeger making those plays. No Backbiter out of Orphea. Can you take back your prediction? It's not how that works. Sorry. To that end, Joe going to zone out the members of AMC while the Shrine is very much being taken down quickly. Kerrigan Remember, this is a map where she gets a ton of value on the objective. That said, big blind there. Jägermeister, though, is extremely low, and Orphea gets the finish. And now it looks like Joe might go down. She does. Raynor getting that last pop. And so, AMC going to draw first blood here as they start to catch up on this shrine. They have a long way to go. Only 12 minions to 22. But they should be able to do it. Sonya actually stepping up here. Do they go for the aggressive engage? They're not really going to be able to get the kill without any kind of way to lock her down. Kerrigan heading back up towards the top, as are the rest of the members of Caffeinated Knights. It is only 30 skeletal minions, so they are not done yet. 34. They need to get this finish. Kerrigan moving, looking like she wants to get on the Raynor. Backs up. Sonya now rotating in, but the Frozen Punisher has been picked up, and Vivanchi finds himself on the wrong side of the members of ABBA Murky Cult. That is the third kill. That is a Frozen Punisher, and that is a nearly full-level lead favoring AMC here as they look to close out this series and punch their ticket to Division B Grand Finals. Remember, the winner of the series moves on to face the 7th seed, Die for Vision. Die for Vision, arguably the most improved team this season. You go back to what they looked like week 1 to what they look like now. It's just a completely different team. They're comboing so well. They're fighting so well. So it's going to be a tough out. Don't let the 7th seed fool you. But that said, ooh, root onto Greymane, and they get the finish off it. And so with that, 4th kill now to AMC, and they get the top fort. And Sonya has grabbed the bottom siege camp as well. So AMC right now feels like they just have free reign of the map. The question is, what happens when Bless Shield comes in? That's my thought. Bless Shield is going to set up a lot more of these combos. Joanna really struggles until level 10 with CC. Jägermeister and company just going to need to be patient until then. But AMC looking very strong as they have ticked over level 10. Sound barrier, I'm interested to see what Sonya and Tyrael take. It is Wrath. Okay, I was thinking maybe we'd see like a Leap Judgment combo. Not expecting it, but thought like, yeah, you know, it could happen. It is Hyperion crushing Jaws. It has not been Sanctification yet. Now, in fairness... Oh, there it is. I was going to say, in fairness, like, nobody's come close to dying. But that said, I think, ooh, they really want this Kerrigan. Combo comes out, doesn't collect anyone. Jaeger gets the cleanse, gets a clutch heal, but it's just not enough. Great engage there. Tyrael enabling that very well with the level 10s. And they actually didn't even use any ults there to get that kill. They might use some ults here. They do get the kill on the Greymane. 6-0. Caffeinated Knights just bleeding from every hole right now. They need to get 10, and they need to get this game back under control. As if they lose the next Punisher, it could very, very much turn into an unwinnable situation. The mid wall is down there, starting to get damage already onto this fort. Keep in mind, though, late Punishers on this map are absolutely devastating. Sonya playing for the Bruiser Camp clear, but here come the rest of the members of Caffeinated Knights. Sound Barrier and Sanctification are available. This is a 5v5 fight. Here comes the engage. Crushing Jaws comes out, doesn't collect anyone. Sanctification is used to secure the objective. Can they find that kill? They're really looking for this, but Kerrigan, no, not able to find the big combo there. Probably didn't have the cooldowns available. But ultimately, I think Caffeinated Knights happy to just walk out of that without really losing anyone. They will get an opportunity to fight before level 13 comes in. And you got to think maybe some of this has to do with morale. Unable to close out that last game, coming so close. Maybe they just need to take a deep breath, regroup, and try to get back to executing their combos like they did back in Game 2 early on with that power slide into the Maiev combos. Or the Maiev combos into the power slide, I should say. As yet, we haven't really seen Joanna and Kerrigan really get on the same page. And this is the Arcane Punisher And with the mid fort already low, this is a very devastating Punisher to have to fight into. But that said, it looks like they might be planning to do just that. They're trying to open up something here in this bot lane. They recognize level 13, too close for them really to look for the fight. So they're going to try to at least get this front wall. But here comes a big rotation now, looking for this 13 fight. Focus is onto the Greymane. He does get the cleanse, but it's just so low. There's the big Kerrigan combo. Can they get on the Creeper? They do, and that might be the turnaround they need. Still, Greymane does go down. Jägermeister on the full retreat. This is a 4v4 here in the bottom. They at least get a kill. But now they're going to need to send someone top to deal with this Bruiser camp. And that means this will be the Arcane Punisher picked up by AMC. Caffeinated Knights going to have to put up the defense here. But man, this fort is already forfeit. And it's an Arcane Punisher. Not the strongest anymore. Frozen because of the shutdown effect. Arguably the strongest. But Arcane's still incredibly damaging. The zoning of his lasers is significant. And starting to bait in this siege. Now, keep in mind, you didn't actually need to tag that camp, as the camps don't disappear on this map when the objectives start. So I don't know if that was just over-anticipation or maybe forgetting that fact. Regardless... Oh, I see what they're doing. I'm an idiot. They were capping and then finishing. I'm an idiot. Caster bad at math. But here we go. 6 Cosricks coming down. Punisher baited over the wall. They're getting good damage into it. It's getting hit by all 3 towers. Now first tower has dropped, but they are burning it very effectively. And I like this. Just recognizing the situation, not overthinking it. Just kill the Punisher and then figure out the next step. Jaeger taking a lot of poke damage there. Has that passive healing from the tap. Sonya, meanwhile, has grabbed the bottom fort. So all 3 forts down for Caffeinated Knights. Now, we had a similar situation on the last map, but Caffeinated Knights did manage to come back and put themselves in a position to win. So we could still see that here. But meanwhile, have you guys gotten your invite to the Bush Party? Ooh, Joanna RSVPs. She has the Iron Skin, though. Ancestral comes in. They don't land the Crushing Jaw. And they don't get the kill. A lot of tools blown by both teams there. Both for the trying to secure the kill and trying to avoid it. But Joanna says, what kind of party is this? This party sucks. There was no cake. There was only pain. Sorry, I had to kill a gnat on my wall. It is summer and the gnats are in full force. Heat index today was like 110, so I've just had insects just coming into my house like all day. There we go now. Focus on to stealing this Bruiser. Sonya's nearby, could rotate in. Currently heading towards the bottom. Camp has been grabbed as they just continue to paint this map. I was about to say red, but really it's more of an orange-yellow. Sonya now working on to this bot camp. Looking for a combo. Kerrigan doesn't find it. Say 4v4 up here in the top as Phoenix peels away. No, Phoenix actually coming up. Level 16 in favor of AMC right now. Heading into where we're about to get the warning for the next objective. So Caffeinated Knights needs to find their 16 talents, and they need to find them fast. That said, this unconventional comp has so much mobility on the side of AMC. It's just made it very hard for Kerrigan to really land these combos. Apparently I'm a serial killer now, Kime. Good to know. With that, Sonya gonna work onto this siege camp now. And again, the map is completely controlled right now by ABBA Murky Cult. That said, 16 is close. They will be able to get there, and they will be able to get that equal talent tier fight. This is a situation, though, where you have to stop the bleeding now if you are Caffeinated Knights. The series, B-West Championship, the move to the coast or to the grand finals against Die for Vision, all coming down to this last shrine. And they need to find 16. They found it. They need to now take this fight. I don't think they can afford to just defend this, but it's already 29-0. I think they have to. This is going to take a monumental defense. You have to imagine, yeah, the Jaeger's calling for it. Looks like they might try to fight past the Punisher. No, they're going to peel back and play this safe. But man, AMC has just kept their foot on the gas this game. Game has felt just as one-sided as that Cursed Hollow game, albeit the opposite direction. Here comes the Punisher. They're trying to bait it to mid. They're laying damage into it, but it has turned its attention back to the top keep. It is still very healthy, 60%. Curse Bullet came out onto Tyrael. Punisher jumps in. That might be it for Greymane. No, the big crushing jaws gets on the Jägermeister, but the Bless Shield. Can they get a kill? No, they haven't gotten it yet. This Punisher, though, is now low. The mid keep has fallen. The chase coming. They want the kills, AMC. No, now they turn their attention towards this core. There's the Trinklot Protector jumping in. They're trying to get another kill. Jägermeister goes in. Gets the kill onto Joanna, but Lucio goes down. Sanctification buys the time they need on the side of AMC. But now it is bodies just hitting the floor left and right. It is 2-3, but Sonya is still on this core. It is down to 40%. She has Wrath of Berserker. Is she going to get it off? No, she doesn't. The finish comes up, and the defense is there. And this is the last stand for Caffeinated Knights. They do to ABBA Murky Cult what ABBA Murky Cult did to them. The only difference is, because of how one-sided this map has been, they cannot run it down the other way and end. They're going to have to claw back into this game inch by inch. It is not over by a damn sight. But they have a zero margin for error now. At this point, they need to get bottom fort, and they need to open up a win condition off the next Punisher, and they probably need a couple pickoffs here in order to prevent a backdoor. 38% on the core against the Sonya, against the Raynor. That is not a lot of room to play with. They get the fort. They've opened up a win condition, but they have to just be ever vigilant of this backdoor, as there are no keeps giving them vision anymore. This core is so low, 38%. Bottom has been cleaned up. Now they're going to at least get their camps into the lane. They have 20 now, but at this point, because you're down so much in the macro, you have to look for fights, and that's normally not what Caffeinated Knight wants to do. They want to get the macro edge and then turn that into pickoffs. Not going to have that opportunity here. Are we going to get to game 5? It is going to take a... It's going to take a significant comeback. But that said, a little bit of luck on the side of Caffeinated Knights, as it is the bottom lane Punisher. Certainly if they lose it, the game's over. But if they win it, they could potentially end off it. That said, they're going to have to respond to this pressure put on them in the top lane by the members of AMC. AMC wanting to force them to stay top defending so they can't look for the advantageous pickoff. The Shrine Warning comes up, 30 seconds. And with the Kata pressure in the top and mid, this is a very limited window on the side of Caffeinated Knights. They are going to have to basically take a fight and take it quickly. Oh, this is not what they wanted. Joanna blowing the Bless Shield just to get away. That is not what they wanted. They do not have 60 seconds to play with. They now have to take a fight without that ultimate in hand. And this fight just got that much harder to win. But nonetheless, here we go. It is the last stand. And like Custer at Little Bighorn, they cling desperately to life here. But they need to get onto this. They need to find kills. 23-10. They don't have time on their side. There's the Sanctification. They back up. Crushing Jaws Doesn't collect anyone. That is a very early Ancestral. Not going to get much value there. Here comes the Phoenix. No, great sound barrier. Limits the damage. 32 to 20 at the moment. The objective about to be finished, and if this gets finished, this will be the game in favor of AMC. And now they go in, they find the Joe kill, and I think AMC might have just punched their ticket to grand finals as they find themselves kill after kill after kill after kill. And now they go core. Do they go for this final finish? They do. And Caffeinated Knights had an amazing run this season. They have won every match until now. AMC comes in a big way and takes this series 3-1, and they will advance to face Die for Vision in the Division B Grand Finals. Congratulations to them. We're going to get them in here for an interview here in a bit, but I need a minute just to catch my voice. That was such an intense series. But ultimately, that map 4 was just so dominated by AMC. It just felt like Jaeger never really was able to kind of get those combos landed. Vivanci just not able to get the finishes as a result. And that unconventional comp, that mobility, just made it so hard. Alright, well, with that, we are going to ban you permanently from the channel. Take care. Bye now. We're just not going to be rude. It just doesn't help anyone. With that, though, I don't want to take anything away from AMC. AMC really earned this victory. They're a team that improved throughout the season, and they earned the 2 seed in a very tight B West, but at the end of the day, they just looked like the better team. And so with that, we're going to see if we can get an interview. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Thank you all for watching. Welcome back, everyone. Nexus Gaming Series. DB Smiley here, as I am joined by two members of the victorious ABBA Murky cult, Creepers, the captain of the team, and Majini. Have I been saying that correctly all night, or am I wrong?
It's okay. I say Majini, but
Majini. Okay, emphasis on the
it doesn't
second
really
syllable.
matter to
Yeah.
me.
All right, I've been putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable. All right, with that though, apologies. That was gonna make watching the replay, I imagine, unbearable, and I am sorry, as
No, it's
I've had to
alright.
watch many replays where I've been called DBS Smiley, and I like just cringe every time. But with that, congrats, obviously, on the win. Heading into tonight, I mean, certainly Caffeinated Nights was favored. They got this far without losing a match. First and foremost, I just got to ask, coming off that 3-1 victory, you didn't even need a fifth map. How are you guys feeling?
I'm definitely feeling good. Our team spirit's very high. After that, especially like game three, that whole momentum shifted for us, and from then on, we just went on and win game four, and that's history.
I'm pretty proud of our team.
Yeah, honestly, our team did really nice in those couple of games.
Yeah, that was a great series, and we're definitely going to talk about that ending to game three. Don't worry about that. But heading into the series, I expected a bit of a choke, or a bit of a tank choke, especially coming out from the first pick team. You guys didn't go that route. You stuck with banning out assassins, specifically a lot of Hanzo and Sylvanas bans. What was the rationale behind targeting those bans? If you just want to walk me through your thought process.
Yeah, they're undefeated with those characters, so that's why I banned it. Very simple.
Yeah, I mean that they are, and with a lot of games on both.
Yeah, so not only do they have like a high win rate, they also have a very high pick rate, and those two enough. It just says, all right, no, I'm not. You're not seeing those characters all series.
Yeah. Now with that though, that did put you guys in a bit of a couple tank chokes. You managed to get Joanna, I believe, twice. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
No, we got it
Oh no,
once.
Joanna and Garrosh. Sorry, you got Joanna once and Garrosh once, which were two of your preferred tanks. You never got the Diablo, which I don't think anyone expected who
Yeah, there's
scouted
no
you
way
guys.
we're getting Diablo.
That is what that is 20, and I'm not even sure if my data that I used is up to date for playoffs. I had 20 bans at one point, so that would make it 24. Um,
Yeah,
and that may not even include some of the later playoff games. So obviously a huge respect there. But you guys with that still managed to work around it. You get the Joanna one game, you get the Garrosh the other. ETC and Tyrael, which we're definitely going to talk about that draft. Um, but I guess overall, it makes sense from that standpoint. When you look at their assassin pool, did you guys feel targeted at all in draft outside of the tanks? Was there anything you wanted to get that maybe got denied at some point?
if anything, I was actually expecting them to ban the Rhaegar because Majini here is
Mm-hmm.
undefeated right now, 8-0 with the Rhaegar. I was so surprised to see not even a Rhaegar ban, and I think she really deserved to get that instead of the Garrosh. I don't know why they banned Garrosh. It really was a bit
It
odd
was
to me.
it was the defining win
Mm-hmm.
factor for Voskaya, so I
Yeah,
understand it.
yeah. Well, with
But
yeah,
having that Rhaegar banned out was limiting our healer's choice.
right.
So I think that was should have been a better option for them, but we'll take it.
Yeah. Well, it obviously worked out. So let's take it to Sky Temple. So I don't think anyone was surprised by Caffeinated Knights bans this series, banning out Tomb of the Spider Queen and Braxis. That is their norm. You guys taking out Towers of Doom and Dragon, you guys, based on my scouting, tend to prefer target banning maps. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, that is correct. We're very comfortable with every
Yeah.
single map in the pool, so there's really no reason to ban something that we don't like.
Now, you guys take it to Sky Temple for map one. Why specifically? Obviously, you had to pick map. There was no coin flip. Kevin, it's the higher seed, said you're picking map. Why Sky Temple? What was the main rationale for that?
Very simple. They haven't played on it this season, so we just use
Yeah.
that as like, okay, use that unfamiliarity, use our map
Mhm.
knowledge to that advantage.
I think that's kind of what I guessed during the game, and I quite like that pick. I will say you guys have played all 10 maps this season, and
Yes.
I don't think I've seen that in any team I've casted ever. So congrats.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
But with that, Sky Temple, you guys had a pretty decent lead at one point, and then you committed a lot of resources to fighting on the mid shrine rather than trading out, giving them mid and taking bot. What was the rationale for that, and what do you think caused that fight to go wrong, if you remember it?
I actually don't quite remember what happened. I do know that I think it was 4 of us mid and Dahaka bottom.
Correct.
And
yes.
I was just hoping to get a fight because Dahaka already got value bottom. Like that's already like a net profit for us. So at this point, looking for a fight is kind of what we wanted to do. We were up like 1 level, even though it wasn't a talent tier. Being up an extra level does give you more health and more mana and all that stuff. So we were still looking for a fight in that situation. I don't think trading wouldn't. I think we were like pretty even at that time. I think we were pretty even based off.
Actually, you were up a little bit.
Even yeah, up a little.
Yeah.
Not dramatically. It's very like situational. It could go either way, either call it right. But I feel like having such an even structure lead really doesn't mean too much to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it did not go right there, unfortunately.
Yeah, it did not go. Yeah, I don't know.
You lost 4 heroes. But with that, kind of, how did you regroup and ultimately win that map? What do you most attribute that to? Would you say?
It's like, well, with our mentality, the way I like to say to my team is just, whatever they want to fight, who cares? The game's not over. Just play on. We're not bound to win. It's very rare to play against Caffeinated Knights and not lose a single fight the entire game. So we're like, okay, it's gonna happen.
Right.
Like whatever.
Well, ultimately, you guys came back. You won that map. Took us to map 2. You guys picked Cursed Hollow, and I have to say, I was a bit surprised by that, given that you banned out Towers and D-Shire, which are rotational gank-heavy maps, which is kind of where Caffeinated Knights, bread and butter is. You kind of took them to a rotation-heavy, gank-oriented map. What was the thought process behind Cursed Hollow, and what ultimately kind of went pear-shaped on that map for you guys, would you say?
I'm going to be completely honest. I know Majini here didn't agree with me at the beginning of the game too, but I was like, all right, guys, we're going to try running Abba Murky.
Yeah,
no.
And then we realized it didn't go well, so we tried Abathur, Vala.
And then the draft kind of just went super sideways. We really tried going Abba Murky that game, but it just didn't work. Like the draft was just saying no Abba Murky. So at that point in the draft was already like kind of lost. They had a way better draft, a way better like team comp, way better like game plan than us, and that's what really kind of costed us. So at that point, I was like, you know what, we'll give them a game. Use this game to reset your mindset, reset what you're thinking mentally, and then go into game 3 with a fresh 0-0 score.
Yeah. Effectively at that point it was a best of 3. Volskaya, you guys lose the first Triglav, but defend it well. You have some just stellar, and I want to point out your Ring of Frosts and Blizzards turned fights that were hard loses into hard wins. So well done there.
Thank you.
But ultimately, it kind of turned into this weird counter-engaged situation, and you guys had a big lead, and then you tried to pick off ETC mid. What went wrong there? What would you think you changed?
I did not get my Ancestral off because our tank threw him into me, which was quite the counterplay.
I actually don't remember what happened. I just remember I got moshed. I was like, oh, well.
Yeah, because of the Torbus.
Yeah, ETC kind of ended up on the back line. Maybe or maybe not thrown by a Garrosh. I'll let you fight that out with your tank. And then proceed to be like, oh, thank you for the gap closer, Mosh.
It's like I wasn't even looking at the EDC. I was looking at the Blaze and Ming, trying to get a good pick on them. And all of a sudden, my whole team is Mosh. I'm like, wait, what? What happened?
Yeah.
I went to go save them, and I got solo Torbus. I'm like, oh my goodness, are you serious, man?
Well, obviously, things looked pretty dire there, and some bald people, who may or may not be talking right now, thought, well, that game's over. Caffeinated Knights up 2-1. And it wasn't over. Walk me through that core defense.
All right, let me tell you this right now, and I'll never, ever say this again, ever in my life, but Decimate actually hard carried us. I think what
so many people in chat were pointing this out. Yeah, go ahead.
I think Caffeinated Knights failed to take in consideration that the level 20 all upgrade of Decimate reduces damage dealt.
Mm-hmm.
And he was hitting like Maev, Ming, and he was hitting everyone with that Decimate at the core defense.
Yeah, and then he managed to get a pick off on ETC.
Mm-hmm.
And that led to like less damage dealt to the core, which gave us more time.
Mhm.
And furthermore, like they weren't dodging the core defense, which I can't blame them. It's very annoying as well, and that was
Right.
also a factor. And I think the biggest factor was during that 5v1, he was able to solo kill the ETC by tossing him over the
Yeah,
wall.
that was obviously a critical moment. Go ahead.
Without that, there was no way we could have won that game. But it was just small errors made by Caffeinated Knights and a really like ballsy call to go core that really turned the favor for us.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you guys mount the core defense. At that point, it's literally just walk to core and end the game since you had such a big macro edge already. Taking us to game 4, you guys go to Infernal Shrine. This is kind of more the map I was expecting you guys to pick tonight. Kind of brawly, kind of team fighty, strong objective. And I will say, verbatim, well, I don't know if this is verbatim, but I believe I said I really don't like this draft from AMC. And then I was wrong for the next, like, 20 minutes. Like, just hard wrong. Why? First, that comp, question mark. That is the question. I don't have any further details. And why did it work so well?
We switched some roles around.
Yeah,
I did notice that. I did catch that. So I noticed that Doberman moved to the Rainer. Originally, it was Doberman picking Lucio, and then I think you guys swapped after the swap period, and then obviously Majani, you moving to the assassin role with that Orphea. So I was really thrown off by that. But then I remember looking at the draft and thinking like, oh, cool. So they have no CC. and yet you guys made it work. Like how did that work out for you guys?
We had so much survivability beyond the sound barrier and the sanctification that I don't think it really mattered. And since Orphea can kite Kerrigan and Johanna really well, I think that it worked out in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you felt like you guys really disrupted that. You disrupted the Joanna engages with the speed. Kept their, the movement speed. You guys had the mobility. Really kept Joanna from kind of getting a clean condemn. I think the only time I saw her get a big condemn was like the level 1 brawl in mid lane. I think that helped. And then you just really, I think, frustrated Kerrigan and Greymane and just prevented them from getting clean finishes. With that mobility.
I mean, with their comp, it was pretty much an all-in comp, right? And this is something I found out from Caffeinated Knights that they'd like to go all-in. So we're like, okay,
yeah.
Well, as long as we live the all-in, we win the fight. There's no way they can win otherwise, right?
Right.
So that was really the concept behind the draft. That's why we left the tank last, because we're like, okay, right. They will expect Tyrael. There's no way they will, right? They can't play.
I didn't expect the Tyrael. I was actually there was a. Well, I will say I knew you guys played Tyrael, and I was thinking that, but there was part of me. And I said this in the game, and I didn't necessarily think this was a great pick, except that it's Infernal Shrines, and I was thinking Stitches for Putrid Bile. But I still think the Tyrael worked exceptionally well. I was just thinking the Putrid Bile would have really upset their engages as well.
Yeah, that's correct. I did consider the Stitches as well, but I think the problem with the Stitches is that
he sucks at everything else.
Yeah, he can't help anyone else if they get jumped, right? So that was a huge problem. I was like, okay, Tyrael at least will maintain, make sure everyone's alive. And even if that doesn't help, we have a sound barrier. Like, there's basically no way we could really die unless I get caught out, right?
Right. Well, obviously, I mean, this, you guys pretty much won that game start to finish. It was as one-sided as Cursed Hollow, albeit in the opposite direction. So you guys now move on. You will face Die for Vision, obviously game to be scheduled. But first, have you done any scouting yet? And regardless, what message do you want to send Die for Vision right now?
First of all, I basically know nothing about Die for Vision. I only know that one of their teammates, Darker Black, was actually on my old team together, and we actually played for a full season. So I'll be excited to play him again. Other than that, I really have nothing to say to them. I'm just, I guess I can say.
Oh, he has nothing to say to you. Do you hear that? He has. You're not even on his level. You're not even on his level, Die for Vision. Are you going to take that, Die for Vision? Look at this trash. Look at this. This is his name. This is his name. He is trash talking you. He won't even talk to you. Are you going to take that, Die for Vision? There. Now the game is more exciting. You're welcome.
Okay, to be honest, I don't know anything about them. Like, I
You
just
hear
know
that?
they're
He doesn't
17.
even know about you. He's never heard of you. Oh my! You're nothing to him. You're nothing. Sorry, I'm just trying to make this exciting. Your best
Yo, I'm in
response
the
is to
death
just
threats.
stop
Don't do
talking. Your best
Oh
response
no.
is really just stop talking because I'm just gonna make it worse. No, I've done the same thing with every playoff match where the opponent was known. With that, obviously, you guys move on. Division B, Grand Finals. I imagine this was your goal at the start of the season. But with that, sorry, I'm having too much fun here. With that, I want to give you guys first just a hearty congratulations on winning B West. It was a long season. You guys had some stumbles on the way, but it was really fun to watch you guys because I think we played you guys back in Heroes Lounge. I was on Jailbait, which
Yes, correct. And we got
we're
absolutely
renaming our team. But to that end, you guys have grown a lot as a team. I've seen it. You looked really good tonight, and so I just want to give you congratulations on that, and I want to give you guys the floor for shoutouts.
Shout outs to my team for winning. Shout outs to Caffeinated for giving us a good series. Shout outs to you, Smiley, for casting tonight.
Happy to.
Jenny, you have any other shout outs?
No. You said it all.
All right.
All right. Well, with that, thank you both for coming in to do this interview. I know it ran long, but these best of 5 series, you tend to have a little bit more to talk about. And obviously, with a season of retrospective, there's a lot to kind of look at with the growth. So congratulations again, and best of luck. Looking forward to seeing you guys play Die for Vision, hopefully later this week. But with that, we're going to draw this cast to a close as we say goodbye to our guests. Thank you again for coming. And thank you all for watching. That's going to do it. That is the last Coastal Final. There's only 4 games left in NGS Season 9. We're going to put it to bed right with the Grand Finals. Look for that. The next Grand Final is going to be Wednesday. It's going to be, and you may have seen it on the ticker down here, it's going to be the Division C Final. It looks like it's going to be Murda casting that one. And then A and D are on Friday. We're still working out who that's going to be. The teams aren't showing up. That's annoying. I'll have to fix that. But with that, it is 8:30. It will be on the Nexus Gaming Series official stream. I will see you all next time. It has been a wonderful season, and the best is yet to come. We'll see you then. Take care.